Hi, is this thing on? Hey, so this is a test of streaming of a future little show I want to put on in the middle of the night when I have spare time. And I'm just testing some things out and I'm seeing what I can do. My first attempts at trying to get this stream to work were not successful. My poor little computer just could not handle trying to send it out a 1080p video, so that's okay. We'll deal with the little 720p. Should be okay. I'm trying out here's the idea. The idea of the show is that I want to have a spot where I can talk to you guys about nerdy things and, being able to nerd out a little bit about the different subjects that are going on in the day, about different things that we're thinking about, just little things that I want to go out there and talk about because I don't know, I got nothing better to do in the middle of the night. So I'm going to be probably trying to do this a couple times a night. Maybe not a couple times a week, excuse me. And I'm going to be possibly getting some people to chat with. I wouldn't mind chatting with you. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this is just a test. And I was wondering if anybody's out there in the chat realm. You can hear me or see me right. It's really late, so I don't know if anybody's actually awake. So, also, I'm new to OBS, really figuring it out. Kind of cool. Don't have the chat on the screen working yet. I think I had that working before, but it didn't look good. Yeah, you can do like a way of looking at through the logs or through capturing the window, and neither way was what I wanted yet. So I just took it out for now. But we can look at this in the future. So hold on. We are. So here's the thing. There are so many things out there in the world that are mostly taken care of by, the various people who are really into the things they're into. And so those are everybody who's really into a thing is a nerd. Pretty much. There's exceptions, but I want to make this perfectly clear. A jock is just a sports nerd. Drama queen or drama geek, well, theater nerd. Bookworm, it's a book nerd. It's okay. They're just really into their thing. So, I'm into things. I'm into lots of things. I want to talk about various things like time travel, video games, movies, the news, politics. Sometimes, yeah. Mostly no. Sometimes I don't rant. Usually not. Sometimes I want to, find out what's the cool new thing. Because I'm not into all the things. I'm really kind of being a nerd, actually in my own basement, not my mother's but father's basement. So it's a little bit better than it could be. Yeah, I wouldn't mind just exploring the various cool things we could talk about. So, thank you to DiamondClub.tv for, having this awesome service to make this possible. And Chat Realm, I'm looking forward to look into this and how this is working. So, it's gonna be interesting. We'll see what this can do. All right. Well, I'm going to call this a successful, I don't know, 0 episode of this. If you want to, this is more of a passion project on my part. So if you feel like, oh, this is cool, how am I going to support this? And we are not even close to that. Donate to Diamond Club. They deserve your support. Trust me. This is just me spouting off a little bit, just for a little fun. Who knows? It'll be cool. Well, so if anybody's actually awake at this middle of the night, I'd be surprised. Let's see what's going on as far as my nerdy things. I've been working on inventory at work, which is, the lovely process of taking a bunch of pieces of equipment and writing down things like serial numbers and attaching notes with barcodes and trying to do that for as little cost as possible. This is not a fun thing. This is not something that you want to do. All meanwhile, trying to rearrange and organize, erase computers so you can get rid of them in surplus. That was my day today. And I probably have more of that tomorrow. The other part of my day was programming my IP phones to take a multicast broadcast and see if we can set that up for doing an emergency page across the entire school district. First time I tried to set it up using the built-in method was doing a unicast and didn't like that. So we're going to try to do a multicast system. Sounds like fun. Other than that, been a lot of news recently. They're sending some people around the moon. That's pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. Apparently, two people, pulled out their checkbooks and said, I got a couple, spare 100 million. That's just amazing. Elon Musk, send me to the moon. This would be great. I would love it. I don't even need to stop on the moon. Just send me around it once or twice. I'm like, we'll come back. And, yeah. Other things that are going on with me. I've got a very old laptop here. I've been trying to make it run decently for a second monitor, basically, for me, for this little setup here, in order to provide me some screen notes and things like that. But what I've been using mostly it for is just, in order to do that type of stuff, it's an old XP laptop. It's an AMD Duron compact laptop that it's got, I think it has 1 gig of RAM in it, barely. And so I ended up putting Linux on it. And I always try out. I'm like a serial Linux trier. I want to. Okay, let me try Ubuntu again. Okay, let me try. Let me see if I can get Red Hat's XFCE build to run on it really well. Which one of these things are running right? Ooh, there's the what is the Cloudflare? Not Cloudflare. The downloadable Chrome OS version you can get on. So many bad distributions. Mint used to be one of my favorites. I usually like Mint on these things, and using the XFCE build on it's super thin, super lightweight. I really like that for low-end laptops. But I want to try something different. Also, since back maybe a year ago, Mint had a big faux pas where they actually had some. What was the story? They accidentally were letting third parties install some software on there, something like that. I can't remember what the story was. What was that story? Anyways, so we're going to give Mint a pass just for a little while. So what are we going to try? Actually, the most recent one I've been trying is one called what is this? Spearmint? Cinnamon? It looks like candy, totally candy themed operating system. Very colorful. Runs well on this poor little thing. Peppermint, of course. And yeah, I haven't run this laptop in a while, because last time I would try to use it, I would just load up the browser, which in this case was Firefox, and have it try to run everything and try to run the notes. And boy, when all you want to do is text notes and you're trying to do it in Google Docs because it's backed up in the cloud, things like that, boy, it's slow on these old machines. And there's no sync to Google Drive on Linux, at least not natively, which means I can't do something like a text editor and have it saved that way and be able to access the same documents from another computer, which would be really nice. Which is too bad. And I haven't touched this in a while. It's pretty old. It's got a lot of updates now. I'll let you run your updates. No, actually, maybe not, because I'm streaming. That might not be good. Anyways, so let's talk about something that everybody wants to talk about. Let's really nerd out on something. I want a Nintendo Switch. You know what I mean? But I'm going to wait because my son also wants a Nintendo Switch. And he's saving his money. And there's none in the store, so it's not like I'm going to get one right away anyways. Yeah. Zelda sounds like it's really good. If Redbox around here actually carried Wii U games, I'd probably get that and try it out for Wii U. But no, they never carry those. Anyways. This should be... I'm thinking the Switch is going to be a pretty good success. Both based on the numbers of sales that they've had. And it's basically knocked it out of the park. So the sales this first round, we'll see if they can keep those sales going. And I think it's the right kind of console to be a second console for people. PlayStation 4 people and your Xbox One people, they all have they're very, very into their own camp, right? And they, unless they're really diehard corporate players, they're really not going to buy both ever. But there's the Switch, which is going to have a lot of different games and some of the same games. But it's the portable solution. That's awesome. A lot of people are going to pick that up. And a lot of people will say, but it's $300. It's too expensive. It's pretty expensive. But people are buying VR headsets for $400. And, people are dropping, happily dropping another $400 for the new Xbox One, the S or the Scorpio. So, actually, my family, my household, we decided that we would be a Nintendo household. The reason by it being is my son was born like a few months before the Nintendo Wii came out. But I decided I'm going to be buying a console and I'm going to be getting it day one and I want to play it and I want to have a good time with it. And that just happened to be the next console coming out. And we said, hey, you know what? This is the kind of console my son can enjoy growing up. All the games on there are pretty much benign. Unless you don't buy anything, Bayonetta or something like that. So we went ahead and picked it up and played it, and I love that thing. It was a good system. Graphics were not nearly as good as the other ones, and the game selection started being poor later on, but still had a lot of fun. Still have it some, or did we give it away? I think we gave it away to my sister-in-law. Anyways, the Wii U we got in its place, and it's been lots of fun. But Daniel, my son, he's 11 now. It's been 11 years, and so he's gonna be getting to that age where he doesn't want to play the Wii U games anymore, or he really is in Splatoon, and he got can't even remember the name of the fighting game anymore. Brawl was the old one for the Wii. Anyways, he would play he's starting to get into those games, those fighting games, the shooting games, and he's basically getting to that stage where he wants to blow stuff up, which that's healthy. We need to encourage that. We're not yet to the point where we want to start chopping off limbs. That's different. Well, that's the next step, right? The blood and gore stuff, and then after that, start getting risque. But hopefully by then he's 17 or something. I don't know. That's probably way too long. Probably. Anyways, so here's the thing: if I were trying to save $1, which I'm always trying to save $1, and if I was interested in getting into gaming right now, and I had held back like I currently have, I would probably consider the Xbox One the better option. Here's why. I can probably pick up an Xbox One, first generation Xbox One, the first, the big one, for dirt cheap. At $250, $200 maybe? I don't know. Really cheap. So with that cheap, it's a good system. It's not going to be running everything 1080p. It's not going to do any of the 4K. Well, but you will still play all the new games. At least that's what they say. And now they have this new deal where you get 100 games streamable to your machine for, what, $10, $15 a month? Damn. That's a good deal. Almost worth it if you ask me. Except, I have other things I want to spend my money on. Like a new computer upgrade. It's like been 10 years since I've upgraded my machine. Except for the video card. Jeez, guys. My Core 2 Quad is still pushing pretty well for the processor. It's not great, but it's not bad. So Intel has been letting this go, or nobody's been able to figure out how to get more, out of the processor effectively, as long as you have a decent video card. That's good. Yeah, I mean, that's great, but now I'm beginning to feel it. Actually, what I'm beginning to feel is that Core 2 Quad has a motherboard. It's an Intel board, and it maxes out at 4 gigs of RAM, and that's what I'm beginning to feel pretty bad. So it's time to upgrade. But there's money things. Money sucks. But then again, how else are we going to make this work? That's okay. I'm looking at my options. I might actually go AMD this time, but we'll see. I want to see what the next Ryzen chips, the lower end Ryzen chips, how they do, because again, I don't need to spend a lot of money on a processor right now. That lowest end 1700 for $320 or so. It's a pretty nice processor. 8 cores for $320. It's actually pretty nice. It's just a little bit higher than I want to spend on a processor, so it's okay. I mean, it's not bad. But for $300, I can get a Wii U. Well, not a Wii U, a Nintendo Switch. Yeah. No. But no, I was considering going for my next computer with an AMD processor, but also the big deal for me is actually going with an AMD video card. So the reason why is not because it's necessarily better than NVIDIA. Actually, I'm a bit of an NVIDIA guy. Back when, actually, I was more of a Voodoo guy back in the day, but they don't run around anymore. But I kind of want FreeSync / G-Sync. I want one of the good syncing technologies, because I'm a budget gamer, and when the game frame rates go down, I want to actually have a nice smooth gameplay, even though I'm not getting 60 frames per second, which means I really could use FreeSync and G-Sync. It really would be nice. So I'm looking at my options. Okay, G-Sync, great, except for the monitors start at like $300. It's like, man, no. And I can get the same FreeSync for about $120, $130. So for that much money I would be saving on the monitor, I can dump into the video card, which is insane. So I'm looking at a 480, RX 480, because it's $200 for the card, and I can get a monitor for 120, and that means that I can get those nice smooth frame rates. I'm looking forward to that idea. Quite frankly, it's about time somebody figured out the frame rate problem. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Props to NVIDIA for figuring it out first. Props to AMD for figuring out how to do it cheaply. Appreciate that. Now, if there was only a freaking standard between the two types. But then again, that's not ever going to happen on the first try, is it? No. Anyways. Well. Alright. I'm going to call it. This was my first beta episode 0, whatever, of Talking Nerdy. You can visit talkingnerdy.com. If I'm gonna take this video and we'll stick it there so we can have a nice little. I'm gonna try to get that website up with some videos and maybe some other information. But and I'm gonna have to have some interesting things to talk about, and maybe even somebody to talk to. If you see this and you think, hey, that'd be cool, maybe I could get on there and talk with him. I'd be happy to chat with you guys, and we could even get a Skype going or Hangouts working, and we'll see what we can do. Next time I'm on here, I'm going to have a subject to talk about, and I want to talk about time travel, but not real time travel, fake time travel, like story-ridden time travel. And what could we do, and how should it work? And how does it not work? And how would it be totally wrong? And why is it all, what makes sense and what doesn't make sense? And because I actually have the idea of writing a story about time travel, but it's complicated because I want to address it from multiple angles. I want to hit everything, all the different kinds of time travel. So we'll talk about it then. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch, and if you like this, go to diamondclub.tv and you should donate to them because they're awesome, and I'm just a guy. I'm just a nerd. That's okay. Nice to talk to you guys. Have a good evening. It's late, and I'm going to bed. Good night.